orphan Christmas. All it's missing is a bow. Padlocks on the back. Must be keeping something safe.
I don't see the driver. He could be up front catching some Z's.
I ain't worried about no driver. Grab the bolt cutters. Driver's gone. Moron must have run out of gas.
He's about to run out of what's inside. We gotta call the cops.
We gotta get out of here.
In New York City, sexually based offenses are considered especially heinous. These are their stories.
Hey guys, welcome to Munch My Benson. My name is Adam. I'm here in New York. It's night. I'm joined on the line by Josh Dugan. How are things, Josh?
Oh, they've been better.
Yeah, same.
Yep. My jerk wife, who's, maybe 20 feet away right now.
His lovely wife. She's a saint.
Mean. Very mean. Went and got herself sick.
Yep.
After a work conference in Orlando.
Mm-hmm. As one does.
And brought COVID home.
Mm-hmm.
Got me sick.
Is it a magical strain of COVID, though? Or is it?
No. Nope. I think she had it relatively easy. Like, she felt like the cold that we'd had a few weeks back was worse.
Mm-hmm.
I definitely did not have that experience.
Yeah.
Luckily, I was able to get Paxlovid.
Oh, nice.
So the extreme shittiness didn't last that long, but I had probably about 36 hours that were pretty rough.
Yeah.
I had a massive headache for like 12 hours. That was maybe the worst headache I've ever had in my life.
Did you have to go to a doctor to get Paxlovid, or did you...
I was able to get it through our insurance on a teledoc call pretty easily.
Nice. Yeah, that makes sense to me.
Yeah, why would you be further infecting people going to a doctor?
Yeah.
So I was able to get it. Just establish that you're at risk in some way.
Yeah.
And you should be able to get it, I think. But, lots of people are getting it now.
Yeah.
Which is real fun. Love to have the government continuing not to give any guidance.
Oh, no.
And to just say, oh, yeah, go back to your lives as usual. We'll just let everybody get sick.
That's a good segue to other current events, because we're doing exactly the same things with school shootings as we are with COVID.
Yep.
Oh, just go back to your lives. We're not going to do anything about it, so you might as well get used to it.
Yeah. The Uvalde shooting happened yesterday for listeners who are not understanding why we're talking about this, a month after.
Month out. I'm sure there'll be another big school shooting by then, but yeah, this one's definitely gripped the popular imagination, at least this week. I'm sure it'll be gone next week. Man. Yeah, so I went up to Washington Heights today because I haven't decided what we're going to do about our apartment. Might have to move just because it's a lot of money to just be throwing at basically a furnace called rent.
Sure.
And so
listeners who haven't listened to every episode and are wondering what Adam's talking about, he just got his rent jacked up. His next lease will be, $800 higher a month?
Yeah, more than $800 higher a month. So yeah,
which is a lot of money.
Yeah, that's a big change in the old budgetary constraints, right?
Yeah.
So thinking about moving, so I did a little bit of just kind of neighborhood scouting, and it was great up there. It was really nice. I really enjoyed it, actually. Max and I walked down to the Hudson River. There's a famous Little Red Lighthouse there, and so we saw the Little Red Lighthouse, and then we...
Did you see that lighthouse on the lighthouse tour that you went on? Or did they have a model of it at the Lighthouse Museum?
No, but there's a children's book that they upsold my mother-in-law into purchasing for Max called The Little Red Lighthouse and the Great Big Bridge, something like that. Yeah. So, yeah, it is. So, no, we did not see it because this lighthouse is in Manhattan. It's not in Staten Island. So we couldn't see that lighthouse on the tour.
But they didn't have a model of it?
I'm sure they did. They had models of every lighthouse, Josh.
Yeah.
Name a lighthouse they had a model. Great place.
Did they have the one from Two Harbors on Lake Superior? by Duluth?
They had a shitload of Lake Superior ones.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, all kinds of Lake Superior talk. They did not have the Bolivar Lighthouse from the Galveston Bay entrance, but they did have another Texas one. I don't remember. They had the Portland Headlight for you Mainers out there. A lot of good ones. But yeah, so that was fun. We had a fun jaunt around town.
Did they have the Point Loma one?
I don't know if they had the Point Loma one. The Point Loma one might be newer too, right? It doesn't seem like it's from the golden era, but maybe I'm misremembering it. I feel
like it actually is.
Yeah, I must be misremembering it but
whatever.
There's a great fried seafood place called Point Loma Seafoods. If you guys are down in the San Diego Harbor area looking to get some shitty fried clams, highly recommend it.
You can also tweet at Fuck My Work Life.
Yeah, exactly.
At FMWL Pod.
Yeah, they're in the area.
If you have seafood recs that you want from San Diego. Or, I mean, you can always go to the Turf and, or is it the Surf and Turf Club or the Turf and Surf Dinner Club?
I don't remember.
Whichever order it is, that place is great. You make your own steaks.
Nice. That's fun.
They give you the meat and then you grill it. It's harder than you'd think because they're kind of thick cut.
Yeah.
And it's not like the temperature is consistent across the
That's what I was going to ask. It's not your home field, right? So you don't have your home court advantage.
Yeah.
And you don't have the tools that you're used to.
It's not as easy as you'd think. But we went there with Stuart.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah.
I have not spent much time in San Diego in like about 15 years, but at one point when I was younger, I did quite a bit.
I've been quite a bit.
It's nice.
In the last 10 years or so.
Yeah. Big Mission Beach fan.
Yeah.
That's great. Big fan of Tijuana. It's a great town.
TJ's great.
So I've been watching this show called Clark. I think I talked about the last one. Highly recommend this, Josh. It is tons of fun. You should watch Clark.
This is a British show?
It's Swedish, but it's not like any other Swedish show that you've seen.
Okay.
It's about the guy who Stockholm Syndrome is basically named after.
Okay.
Yeah, because
I think you talked about it in the Patreon episode.
Yeah, he was involved in a pretty wild bank robbery that he got all the... It's very complicated, like his part in this, but he essentially got the hostages to work with them in getting everybody out safely, which it worked. And it's a ton of fun. I mean, there's a lot of sex. There's a lot of action. It is not like a Scandinavian noir crime drama.
I did finish Wisting.
Okay.
Which was the Norwegian one.
Oh, yeah. Right on. I need to write that one down. That one sounded good.
Yeah, it's solid. We also just watched all of Upload, which was very good.
Nice.
On Amazon Prime. I wish the second season had been longer.
Yeah. I think I missed the most recent Barry. I think I've only watched 3 Barrys.
It's been great also.
Yeah, it's been very good. But yeah, man, I think we should jump into this because this episode
kind of goes all over the place. It
jumps the shark and then somehow finds another shark on top of that shark to jump.
Yeah.
And then even does it again.
Yeah. So this week we are watching season 11, episode 6, Spooked. 2 scruffy-looking ne'er-do-wells on the prowl in a beat-up cargo van lurk up on an abandoned box truck, snapping off the padlock to find a pair of grotesquely sliced-up Vicks, staged to look like they were slain mid-coitus, but the female seeming to have been raped by the fastidious killer. Munch has no leads on the MO from VICAP, and the abandoned truck is going to be hard to trace, but Warner's autopsy has given the unit something to go on. The killer removed the Vic's breast implants using a scalpel, and a tattoo takes Munch down the path of La Santa Muerte, the patron saint of Mexican drug dealers. The truck is traced back to a rental company where they find out that Carlos Martinez, the male Vic in the back of the truck, had left his Mercedes for collateral, and his last searched location in the vehicle's GPS brings Benson and Stabler to a hovel in Ozone Park, which until the prior evening was serving as a drug processing facility. They also find the burnt driver's license of a Ramona Rodriguez, which takes them to Lenox Hill, where her roommate says she was barely there and her passport gives him the idea that she must have been a mule and that maybe there were drugs in the implants. As they key on a stuffed animal in Ramona's bed that just might be stuffed with heroin, Ramona's roommate rushes in to tell them that someone's trying to break into the apartment. Elliot and Benson draw their firearms, and a lock-jimmying later, in waltzes special agent Dean Porter. Porter tells them that Martinez was about to make the FBI's 10 most wanted list as an 18-year-old cartel hitman with 26 kills to his name as a member of the Gulf Cartel's assassination wing, Los Zetas. Porter thinks Carlos was in New York to protect Ramona and her shipment from a rival cartel. Cragen and Porter agree that SVU will work the murder angle while Porter and the FBI take the cartel side of the investigation. After Stabler finds a key for a safe deposit box behind a baseboard at Ramona's, they find a plane ticket hepping them to an incoming shipment in the safe deposit box along with a new set of prints to tie to Ramona. SVU, the FBI, and Customs coordinate to let the suspicious shipment through to baggage claim at JFK. Porter and the FBI follow the shipment, but Elliot clocks the man to whom the prints at the bank belong, so he and Benson follow Manuel Rojas through JFK, both eventually getting made, and Liv getting taken captive by way of Rojas' cell phone gun. After a uni gets shot in Rojas' escape attempt, Elliot and the Port Authority cops corner Rojas, who doesn't look anywhere near giving up his captive. Then, from out of nowhere, a shot rings out, Rojas goes down, and we see Porter with his discharged service weapon from a vantage point where he must have had a better shot at Rojas, I guess. Porter tells them his informant told the FBI that Ramona and Carlos had nicked some H from the last shipment and were going to steal some from this one too, so the Gulf Cartel had them taken out. Just as Stabler and Benson finish their mountain of paperwork, Warner comes in with some news from the processing of the box truck murder scene. Turns out the killer in the truck was Ramona's roommate, Terry Baines. And when Benson and Stabler get to Terry's apartment, they catch the guy who was just installing new phones at the precinct trying to leave her place undetected. Porter says he'll take the phone bugger and will chase down whether Terry is in the cartel or not, but that doesn't sit well with Stabler. So when Cragen tells him and Benson to go home, Stabler does what they always do and ignore his orders. They clock Terry on the move, who makes a drop at a grocery store that Adams surely talked about on the podcast. Benson arrests the man who took the drop because Ramona's breast implant was in the bag Terry left him. Inside the breast plant, inside the implant, there's also a SIM card that Morales recovers information from. Though right as they're wondering what the info means, Porter waltzes in and tells them he needs the SIM card they recovered and all of the other materials from the murder investigation, which then shows Teru Morales and Olivia that Porter and the FBI are the ones who bugged SVU, not the cartel. Turns out Terry is a Cuban spy who knew Ramona from high school in Laredo. Benson invites Porter to her place for a potential bone sesh as a front to install spyware on Porter's phone over Bluetooth. They use the spyware to divine Terry's location and haul her in, only she turns out to be a CIA analyst who's trying to get the names of U.S. spies to the Cuban resistance through the SIM card that was in the implant. Terry had her cousin, Ramona, get the implants to smuggle the chip into Cuba, but then drug-addled Ramona started blackmailing her for more money that she wasn't going to be able to get. With an entire CIA operation in jeopardy, Terry decided there was no other way to preserve the identities of the American agents in Cuba than to kill Ramona. As she tells them that Porter knew all along, Porter strolls into an interrogation and tells Terry she's coming with him, which Liv responds to by trying to tell Dean Porter that he's under arrest too, as an accessory to murder. Cragen comes in and is like, "Is this your first rodeo, you dopes?" and tells them Porter and Baines are free to go per orders upstairs, and that they can sneak away via the back stairwell. Liv asks if Porter shot the man with a gun to her head just to save himself, and why he couldn't just trust her with the truth, to which he responds that their feelings don't matter. And we get a, do Benson and Stabler really not get how the world works by season 11? Dick Wolf.
Yeah, man. It's not just Benson and Stabler, though. It's
no. There's a heavy dose of the SVU writing staff not knowing how the world works. But
yeah.
Oh, man.
I will say art department did a good job in this one. Not really sure that anybody else did, but art department did a good job.
I will say that the cartel angle was surprisingly accurately researched. I was not expecting it to be, and it actually was.
It was like the least, it was.
Yeah, it was the most believable of any of the nonsensical shit that went on in this episode.
Yeah, it was like a little ridiculous, but less ridiculous than the CIA shit.
Sure, but like the Gulf Cartel are actually a thing. Los Zetas are actually a thing. Like the relationship between Los Zetas and Gulf Cartel,
that's a thing.
Like usually SVU is just making up their own gangs and doing whatever the fuck they want. Of
course, yeah, of course.
They're not doing that here, which I think is kind of crazy because it's rare to see the actual cartel mentioned, and sort of have their operations gone into at all in a way that is not like
completely made up. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
I guess, we never talked about what we were drinking, did we? I know Josh is not feeling very good, but hopefully he's feeling good enough to have a beverage.
No, that mean wife of mine who got me sick said that I can't drink tonight.
Oh. But
I can't tell if she can hear me.
He probably needs 6 fingers of whiskey to make him feel better.
So she can hear me. Yeah, I do need 6 fingers of bullet, but she won't let me have 6 fingers of bullet. I'm drinking a grapefruit LaCroix and a Dr. Pepper.
Nice.
And a regular water.
I'm drinking a green tea and a PBR because it's cheap.
That's quite the combo.
Yeah. And it's funny you should mention it. I did go to a grocery store today.
I bet you did.
Uptown. And it was underneath.
Was it this one?
No, it wasn't this one. It was bigger and cleaner than that one.
Okay.
But I've been in grocery stores that look like that one. That's for sure.
Sure. Don't doubt it. Okay, so we've got guest stars.
We do.
Luckily, not too many to talk about.
Good.
We've talked about Jabari Gray, who's playing CSU Detective Keegan Timmons.
Yeah.
Talked about him back in Munchy, My Benson episode 62. He got down with an arthropod. We were covering season 11, episode 3, Solitary. He was also a different character in Underbelly, so brain melter.
Yeah.
We talked about Vincent Spano for a little bit, but I'm going to go into more here since this is a much bigger Vincent Spano episode.
Sure is.
We did talk about him back in Munchy, My Benson episode 51, You Can't Eat Ethan Hawke, where we were talking about that Ludicrous episode, season 8, episode 22, Screwed. That's the second Ludicrous episode, but the first one we covered. This is the 5th and final appearance for Vincent Spano on SVU as Agent Dean Porter of the FBI. He was born in Brooklyn to Italian-American parents Vincent and Teresa Spano. He started acting on stage in New York at 14, where his agent initially had him working as Vincent Stewart because they thought his last name was too ethnic. He's been in the films Over the Edge, Baby It's You, The Black Stallion Returns, Rumblefish, Alphabet City, which we will be covering for our next Munchy, My Benson Movie Club episode, Maria's Lovers, which is the movie he met the mother of his child on, Nastasia Kinski. Creator and God Created Woman, High Frequency, City of Hope, Oscar, Alive, and Indian Summer. He was also main cast in the short-lived NYPD cop show Prince Street, which also starred Mariska Hargitay, Sam Rockwell, and Munch alum Dana Eskelson, who was the mom in Web.
Yeah.
And Eric Overmeyer was on the writing staff, who was also on the SVU writing staff for a little bit, and obviously is the Bosch executive producer and showrunner, and, worked with David Simon on The Wire and Tremaine. That's kind of it. He basically on TV just does one-offs or is in Italian shows.
Yeah, I was going to say, he clearly speaks Italian.
Yeah. He's in a lot of Italian language stuff in the last 20 years. Next up, we've got Paula Mendoza, who's playing Terry Baines. She was born in Bogota, Colombia. Her mother brought Paula and her brother to the U.S. when she was a toddler, where they initially struggled and spent a short period of time homeless until her mother got a job at a fast food restaurant. When Paula was 12, she fell in with a gang, so her mother sent her back to Colombia to live with an aunt. She came back to LA for her senior year of high school and then attended community college for 3 years before transferring to UCLA, where she finished her undergrad. She then got her master's from Sarah Lawrence. She starred in On the Outs and has been in Sangre de mi Sangre, Goodbye Baby, One Night, Last Call, The Undying, and El Empantanado, The Muddy. She wrote, directed, and starred in Entre Nos. She was the co-founder of the 2017 Women's March and served as its creative director. She was named Glamour's Woman of the Year in 2017. She was the creative director for the 2018 I Am a Child exhibition at the National Civil Rights Museum in Memphis, which was a collection of photographs highlighting the separation of undocumented immigrant children from their parents at the border. She's a founding member of The Meteor, a platform to amplify the creative work of BIPOC women and LGBTQ+ people. She co-authored Together We Rise, Behind the Scenes at the Protest Heard Round the World, with Sarah Sophie Flicker, and in 2020, she wrote the YA novel Sanctuary with Abby Sher. That is a YA story set in like the 2030s about our bullshit at the border. Mm-hmm. She co-founded the Resistance Revival Chorus with Sarah Sophia Flicker and Jenny Suss, who sang backup for Kesha at the 2018 Grammys that Resistance Revival Chorus did. She has a son with her partner, producer Michael Skolnick. A lot more stuff than I figured I was gonna find out about her. She looks super familiar, and I can't fucking figure out where the hell I know her from. It can't just be this episode.
No.
But looking at her IMDb, there's nothing there, so I don't know what it is.
Yeah. Huh.
Then we've got Jose Yenke, who is playing Manuel Rojas. He was born in Brooklyn to Peruvian actress Teresa Yenke. He attended City as School High School, which is a weird fucking name for a high school.
Sure is.
And while he was there, he received a scholarship to Ballet Hispanico of New York. He also does humanitarian work, some of which will be featured in a documentary he's developing about his 19 years working with youth through the arts in Tijuana, LA, and San Diego. In 2016, he produced, co-wrote, and acted in an award-winning short film, In a Parallel World, which was a co-production with Arts for a Better Tomorrow, a nonprofit he founded helping underserved youths in TJ and LA through the arts. His humanitarian work garnered him an honorary doctorate of fine arts from Cal State San Marcos. He's been in the films Traffic, Beginners, Miss Bala, and All About the Money. On TV, he's had recurring parts in Days of Our Lives, NYPD Blue, The Division, El Porvenir, and The Last Ship. He's in the X-Files one episode and one episode of New York Undercover, both of which are in the shared universe.
Yeah.
Next up, Juan Carlos Hernandez, who's playing Michael Garcia. We saw him back in Munch My Bets in episode 10. Staten Island Has Its Own Entire Language, where we were covering season 1, episode 20, Remorse, where he was the prison source. So this is now a twofold brain melter. He's been in the films The Devil's Advocate, High Crimes, In America, War of the Worlds, Carlito's Way Rise to Power, Cop Out, and Tower Heist. He's had recurring roles or been in multiple episodes of Guiding Light, Oz, 100 Center Street, Click and Clack As the Wrench Turns.
All right.
Yep. I wish I'd seen that. I used to listen to Click and Clack all the time. The Blacklist, Shades of Blue, and Pinkalicious and Peterific. No idea what that is.
Nope.
He was in one episode of the original series and one episode of the Cabot spinoff Conviction. He also wrote, directed, and starred in the feature films Waking Up in Astoria, Statico, and El Grande de Corona. Then we've got Hector Lincoln, who's playing Carlos Martinez. He is Cuban-Jamaican. His dad is well-known journalist, diplomat, and Jamaican Labor Party politician Hector Winter. And his mother's a former model, Diane I.E. Winter. He did his first commercial at 4 and worked regularly on the children's TV show It's a Smart World. He grew up between Lake Worth, Florida, and Kingston, Jamaica. At 16, he won a talent and model competition, which led him to moving to Paris, where he began modeling professionally. He graduated from the Actors Institute in New York and studied piano and music at the Royal School of Music in London for 8 years. In 2005, he became one of the first VJs on MTV's new channel Tempo. We saw him back in Munch My Benson episode 13. I don't feel like Wesley Crusher could take care of himself, where we're talking about season 15, episode 8, Military Justice, where he played Jesus, one of the Latino cooks Sherry Appleby danced with, who worked at the Seahorse, but not the one who runs and gets clotheslined by Rollins. Lastly, got Hal Sherman, who's playing Port Authority Police Lieutenant Weber. He's been technical advisor on 176 episodes of SVU.
Wow.
This is his only acting credit on SVU. He's been in a couple other things, but things where he was also obviously a consultant. Also, he's been creative consultant on In the Cut as Detective Hal Sherman, and he was forensic consultant on The Bone Collector. I feel like we really missed an opportunity when we were talking about Thomas Sadowski, and you talked about Meg Ryan.
Yeah.
And Meg Ryan rom-com partners. And when you said Mark Ruffalo, I really wanted to say something about In the Cut.
Yeah.
And that being a rom-com.
It's a weird one.
It's very weird.
It's definitely a departure from Meg Ryan's normal.
Yeah, she usually doesn't masturbate on screen.
Yeah.
But she does in that one.
She sure does.
It's a weird one. Also, he formed FEAR, Forensic Evidence Analysis and Reconstruction Forensics.
I thought you were going to say with Lee Vang or whatever. Isn't that his name?
No. He formed FEAR Forensics after retiring from the NYPD's crime scene unit in 2002. When he retired, he was a first-grade detective, having spent 15 years on the crime scene unit, investigating somewhere in excess of 2,500 crime scenes, including 1,900 homicide investigations.
Damn.
He co-authored Illustrated Guide to Crime Scene Investigation, which I can only assume is a crime scene investigation book for children. And is currently a forensic expert / instructor of the Straya Consulting Group, a team of highly experienced consultants and training coordinators who are also former members of the NYPD Crime Laboratory.
I've got one additional one, Josh, if you're done.
Okay, I skipped some for the sake of...
And this is more just because I wanted to talk about one movie that this person was in, not because necessarily he has an extensive credits list, but Christopher Daoni, he was the old man at the supermarket.
The Cuban attaché.
I mean, whatever's going on with this. I don't want to get too deep into the plot because it doesn't make sense. But
especially on the first pass. The first pass, I was like, wait, what?
Yeah, exactly. But he had a reasonably large part in one kind of well-known movie that's blown away the fairly absurd Jeff Bridges Tommy Lee Jones film, which features Tommy Lee Jones in Irish Face, which is worth the price of admission in and of itself.
And this is Blown Away, not to be confused with the other Blown Away with Corey Haim and Nicole Eggert.
Yeah, no. This is Blown Away. The 1994 IRA bomber is blowing up Boston. That also has Forrest Whitaker in it. And I believe another Bridges. I think Papa Bridges.
Lloyd is in
right?
Blown Away, yeah.
Yeah. But that's about it. He had like small parts in Sea of Love. Yeah. But that's about it.
That was the other notable thing that I'd noticed with him. But it was sort of like he had
a small part in Sea of Love. Blown Away was actually like not that far down the list. But yeah, that's all I got, man.
So, these truck thieves...
They're the Wet Bandits, just updated for a new millennium. Their next caper is going to be trying to break into a house in the suburbs when all the family's out of town for the holidays. And they're going to get into some wild hijinks with a lovable little kid.
The way the dude in the passenger seat was delivering his lines was seriously like, what the fuck is going on
I thought at first all of my notes were going to be about this dude because I'm a big fan. Chris Santangelo is the actor's name.
Yeah.
Gave me extremely strong Richard Edson vibes. I don't know if you got that at all. Richard Edson.
I don't even know who Richard Edson is.
Yeah, you do. He's Eddie from Stranger in Paradise, and he's the garage attendant from Ferris Bueller's Day Off. He's also the original drummer for Sonic Youth, among other things. But I was like, holy shit, man. Like, I could totally see like these guys going and joyriding in a 1961 Ferrari, California.
Yeah, but Richard Edson talks like a normal person still.
Kind of. He has his own like weird
This guy was talking
delivery.
like he was in a B movie or like a cartoon.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Both of those guys. To be fair, the big guy was too.
Wade Milius was also doing it, but just completely insane. Okay, so I've done a lot of work in these box trucks. This looked like one of your standard 20-foot box trucks.
Yeah.
I'm guessing they just grabbed one from Transpo. The biggest one I've ever driven is a 5-ton crew cab Ford F650 Super Duty 24-foot box truck with like the attic above the extended cab.
Oh, yeah. I've driven that shit. I drove a 26-foot truck from Austin to Galveston. Yeah. It was so wide, I had an inch of clearance on either side going down my wife's, not then, but my now wife's street in Austin to pull up in front of the house. That was not fun.
No, it's terrible.
Yeah.
And that's 24 foot, like that's just the back.
Yeah.
That's
the trailer. That's the
like with the 650 crew cab, like that fucking thing is like seriously at least 32 feet long.
It's a big truck. Yeah.
Yeah, it sucks. And like driving them around LA.
Yeah.
Horrible. The worst thing I've ever had to do in one of those, I had to load one solo I had to load furniture into the back of it in Gardena. And like I was stacking couches 3 high.
Yeah. That sucks, man. Alone?
It was utter insanity. Alone.
They don't give you a PA to help you with that shit?
No, I had to go by myself and do this.
That's fucking bullshit.
It was total bullshit. Yeah. Anyway, that sucked. So, pretty bloody crime scene we've got.
Yeah, it's pretty brutal for SVU. Usually we don't quite see, like, bodies stacked on top of each other.
Yeah.
I feel really bad for both of those actors, the bodies, because I guess actually the one guy did have lines, but...
No, they both had lines in the film.
That's right. She was in the film, too, but... Man, most of their work was just either lying on a slab or lying in a heap.
Yep. At least they brought him back for another one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. God, man, really bloody. And I thought it was funny that like, it seemed to me the way they shot Elliot, Liv, and Warner walking into that truck, it was like a promo for the new season.
Oh, yeah.
Because it was like a tracking shot, like a walk and talk, following the camera into the hold of the truck. And they were all walking in step with each other. It was definitely like this season on SVU. Mm-hmm. The CIA gets involved. And Mexican cartels.
This is just such a fucking weird one.
It's totally bonkers. It's all over the place.
So they assume it was a male perp.
Yeah, they assume rape, and, they don't even know about what's going on with the panties yet, but they immediately assume rape without there being any evidence for that, really. Because it does kind of look like a gang hit.
Well, sort of. I mean, it's a sex crime of some sort at the very least, if it's two people mid-coitus.
Yeah.
Anyway, whatever. So they assume it was a male perp. And they're clearly not feminists, but the writing staff was, because women can do grotesque murders and stage them as sex crimes too.
Well, if they're being protected by men in other agencies, like did the CIA and the FBI learn to talk to each other after 9/11?
We'll get into that. Let's save that for the end. But what nonsense! So the Green Tech 8800 is not a real phone, but it's likely a nod to the writer of this episode, Jonathan Green.
Oh, okay. Has a large manual.
Yeah. Now, Cisco does have an 8800 series for their conference call capable office phones, but I can't tell if they were around before 2014. I did look.
Okay.
I've definitely used them, and I definitely hate them.
Oh, all of those phones are fucking bullshit, man.
Oh, for sure.
I mean, massive red flag. All of a sudden, there's this phone guy.
Oh, yeah, and he's getting a lot of screen time. Yeah. Nothing suspicious at all there.
And just like, Craig can have no idea what's going on with his office. Did he not request new phones? Like, he said requested them like 30 years ago, but...
Jackie's watching along. She's like, he did it.
Yeah. 100%.
Yeah. So Warner says that scalpels are available at hobby shops.
I mean, X-Acto knives are.
Exactly. Those X-Acto pen knives are.
Yeah.
But scalpels? Like, that was another one that both Jackie and I were like, that's not you can't just go to a fucking hobby shop and get a scalpel.
Yeah, I've never seen one there. I don't know about a medical supply store, but...
You could probably get one there, but not a hobby shop.
Yeah. It's a little weird. You don't want one for a hobby because it's a different kind of line. Like,
no, you just want one to kill people with.
You're not typically cutting through flesh when you're using an X-Acto blade.
No. Those razors are they're not as sturdy as the blade of a scalpel would be.
It's more for cutting...
cutting paper in fine designs.
Oh, an X-Acto blade is cutting like balsa wood or paper, but a scalpel is more for being able to cut like a single layer of fascia or skin at a time. Yeah. That's the point of it.
Yeah, exactly.
It's very good for cutting somebody's breast implants out. Not so good for hobbies. Unless that's your hobby. I don't know.
Yeah. Weird hobby. Probably need to go to a different kind of shop.
Yeah.
So Gilberto Garcia Mena, who was a boss in the Gulf Cartel, is a devotee of La Santa Muerte.
Yeah. So La Santa Muerte just it's a Mexican folk religion.
Yep.
It sort of has its roots in the deep, dark past, maybe even pre-Columbian shit, but it has definitely become popular and above ground post the modern drug war in Mexico. So the modern drug war, it kind of kicks off because the U.S. did a fairly good job of preventing the Colombian cartels from doing their own drug trafficking through the Caribbean. Yep. And so they needed to find a new route, and they used existing Mexican gangs, which there were several. They each kind of controlled a different border crossing.
Yeah.
They call them plazas.
Gulf Cartel are closer to like Brownsville,
primarily
Texas.
in Tamaulipas, which would be Matamoros, Nuevo Laredo, Reynosa, those places, South Texas.
Yeah.
Now, it really kicks off in 2006 when Enrique Peña Nieto becomes president and he decides to start a drug war. And it didn't go very well at all.
Not even
Something
remotely.
like 60,000 people died.
Oh.
Now, in the midst of all of this, well, actually, this is much earlier than this. So in 1994, in southern Mexico in Chiapas, there was an insurgency. They were called the Zapatistas. They were left-wing guerrillas looking for a better life for the people that lived around them in Chiapas. Well, the Mexican government at the time wanted to crush these people under a jackboot, the way that their friends around the Western Hemisphere had with their various leftist insurgencies. So they sent an elite force to train first with the Cabiles organization, which were Guatemalan death squatters, and then to Fort Bragg, North Carolina, where they learned from the best. The Joint Special Operations Command.
It's almost like I've heard this story before about every single other Latin American government.
Yeah, it's funny.
And the future unruly, lawless, basically like domestic terrorists that happen in all of these countries.
There's a trend that happens in most of these places. One place in particular does not have this trend. We'll get there in a little bit. But yeah, there is a trend. Well, those guys, they were called the GAFE. That essentially means the airborne force.
Yeah.
I forget I don't have that tab open, but they get sent back. And what do you know? Their pay's not that great. And pretty soon they're fighting in the north against these drug cartels. And one of the cartels, the Gulf Cartel, which is one of the big ones. At the time, one of the really big ones. It's less big now. But they made a deal with these guys. Just come over to us. And they did.
Yep. We'll pay you.
Yeah. 300 of them did. It's essentially like if all the SEALs defected from the U.S. Navy and instead went and fought for who are we fighting right now?
I'd argue they probably should defect from the Navy.
Well,
you know?
Apparently, if you read the news, they're all drug dealing. There's massive drug trafficking going through Fort Bragg, essentially. Now there's just bodies dropping left and right. There's been over 100 bodies of Fort Bragg soldiers in the last 5 years. It's pretty fucked up. Anyways, so these guys become Los Zetas.
Yeah.
Who they call them.
They were basically the armed wing of the Gulf Cartel.
At this point, yeah, they're like a special hit squad inside the Gulf Cartel because they're using U.S. Special Forces tactics and methods. They're doing what the SEAL teams do, but also with a little touch of Guatemalan death squads too.
And the Gulf Cartel have other cartels coming for them along with the national public security system.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's very complicated conflict because a lot of times various people that are working together are also fighting each other, and there's a million different cartels and
which happens here in a second.
Yeah, their zones all kind of intersect and overlap, and it's very complicated, as most civil conflicts are. But eventually the Zetas defect from the Gulf Cartel and go fucking apeshit and start decapitating people and putting their heads on pikes, start killing pregnant women and shooting up college parties just for the fuck of it, basically, to kind of...
So for time frame purposes, from 01 to 08, the Gulf Cartel and Los Zetas are together as La Campana. And once the Gulf Cartel leader, Ociel Cardenas Guillen, was extradited, that sort of started the rupture of the relationship between the Gulf Cartel and Los Zetas. So by the 2010s, it's a full-on war between the Gulf Cartel and Los Zetas. But that's after this episode happens.
Yeah, and this is an issue with, in U.S. government speak, decapitation tactic. We'll take out the leadership and then everything else will fall in line.
Yeah, then it's a power vacuum. And
what always happens, it just gets even bigger shit show. And
it's almost like our Latin American foreign policy is fucked.
It's almost like it's been fucked since, 1789?
And I mean, certainly since we started overthrowing Latin American governments, democratically elected Latin American governments, starting with Guatemala?
It was 1848, we invaded Mexico.
Sure.
So,
but I think that's a little different.
But not really, because we already had, it's the same fucking Monroe Doctrine, so we've been doing it left and right, up and down, all over. We've invaded Mexico 5 different times.
But that was more like to take land and not to overthrow their government. It's not like the grotesque 20th century version of what we do.
Yeah, but it was pretty grotesque, and it's the same fucking shit.
We've been fucking around
Cuba,
with basically as long as they let our businesses go in, United Fruit or Dole go in and take over everything.
Oh my God. This is a long list of U.S. crimes in Latin America, an extremely long list. One that's not over. Moving on. So yeah, Los Zetas are a real thing. Santa Muerte is a real thing.
Gulf Cartel is obviously a real thing.
Gulf Cartel is a very real thing. There's an interesting GQ magazine piece that I will forward to Josh about the Santa Muerte cult that maybe we can put in the show notes because it's just kind of brushed over here.
It's a little too far off topic to really dive into.
But it's pretty interesting stuff, and I recommend reading it. But yeah, man, I love in the background of this when Munch is kind of telling us about Santa Muerte, there's a video board. You know, they're not pinning shit up anymore.
Yeah.
NYPD's got a big enough budget to...
they've got screens.
Yeah, they got screens now. But one of them in giant letters says missing breast implants. It's like the only thing you can see on the screen, but it's like, yeah, I guess you're right. I guess that's something you need to track down, but it's kind of funny to have it take up such a big amount of screen time.
We get our rape tree where they're using cartel turf wars to cover for the CIA analyst.
So the thing with the rape trees, I did a little bit of looking for these rape trees, and I gotta tell you, man, like most of what I'm seeing here, they definitely like are mentioned in some articles, but a lot of it is very much blown up by kind of right-wing fear-mongering shit at the right time that you would
expect to see that.
Yeah, so, you know...
Where it's like politically expeditious to...
Yeah, not to say that is not happening. I'm sure it is. When you have marginalized people at the whims of criminals.
And like, to be 100% clear, like, I completely believe that coyotes are raping the women they're bringing.
Well, it's
the rape tree tradition that seems probably overblown.
It just seems a little ridiculous.
Like, why? To mark your territory? I mean, that's kind of what he says it's for. And it's like, does that really...
Aren't you just showing the Customs and Border Patrol your routes so you're going to get busted next time? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. It's dumb.
It seems ridiculous, but it is sort of a thing.
Yeah.
Now, our department did do their research, unlike many of the other people in this, because they got a very legit-looking Texas driver's license for our boy Carlos Martinez. There's a couple things that are weird about it.
Okay, so there are multiple problems with it. That is the template for the Texas driver's license. But there's no such street address as 2212 Camden Avenue.
There's no Camden Avenue.
In Laredo. No Camden Avenue. The closest one is in San Antonio, and it's a Camden Street, I believe. Carlos Martinez is said to be 18 years old. Yeah. The contemporaneous iteration of Texas driver's license for people under the age of 21 were spun 180 degrees to a vertical orientation to differentiate minors from people who were legally able to drink. So his license wouldn't be oriented in the horizontal way. It'd be vertical.
That's absolutely true.
So our department didn't do their job here. They just looked at a normal Texas driver's license and assumed that was okay. But the under 21s, anyone with a driver's license who's under 21, it says under 21 in green, and it's vertically oriented.
It's a portrait as opposed to a landscape.
Yes.
Also, it says that his height is 5'8" tall.
That dude is like 6'2".
I know, that dude is well over 6 feet. Which I thought was funny. And it did not say what color his eyes are, even though it had a line for the color of his eyes.
Yeah. Texas driver's license do fill that in. So
now, did you notice that Benson and Stabler are ruining everybody's fucking days on this one?
Especially the truck rental guy.
I know, the fucking truck rental guy, man.
This guy's great, by the way.
I love that.
Walter Mudu.
Yeah. He's great. He's really chewing up this scene.
He really wants to get this Mercedes.
Why not? The guy put it up as collateral for a rental.
Oh, yeah.
And he's not coming back to pick it up. It should be that dude's.
He's like, hey, detective, it was a fair trade. How am I going to rent my truck when it looks like the inside of Dracula's refrigerator?
I like that line.
I love that. I didn't even catch it the first time because I was so busy writing the recap. But the second time I was like, oh, that's kind of nice. I really like that line.
I know. I mean, I guess he probably can get it out once it's... I wonder what the protocol for that is, because it's like once the case is cleared, is he going to be able to get that property? Probably not, man. NYPD's probably going to...
The police are going to auction that shit off. Man.
They also steal Eduardo's stereo. It's like they didn't need to take the stereo from that kid.
Well, we don't know what it was. We don't know that it was a stereo. It could have been like a DVD player.
It appeared to have a volume knob. I guess it could have been a DVD player, but...
I mean, it was one of those like ambiguous shapes and you never see the front of it, so I'm not sure.
You could see there was a knob on the front of it because you could just make out the front by one of their hands. So I'm assuming it was a stereo. But yeah, it could have been a DVD player. It could have been some other component. But still, man, just let Eduardo keep it. You know, he's an enterprising young man. He gave you lots of useful information. That stereo is not helping you do anything.
Yeah, how is this going to help the case? Like, maybe if it was a DVD player and they had a DVD of them doing crimes. But now, okay, back to the truck rental guy. So they go around to the car and the driver's side window of the car is down.
Yeah, that's a little weird to leave that.
I know why it's down. It's so Maloney doesn't have to get into a hot as fuck car in September in New York. But there's no fucking way this guy is leaving the car window down, and neither would Carlos. Like, if it's left as collateral, he wants it. And Carlos is not going to leave that window down either. No. Like, where they are, like, the inside of that car is going to get fucked.
Yeah, well, I mean, it rains here quite a bit. You don't just, like...
Well, and, like, it's next to, like, a dirty fucking lot, you know? Like... It's gross outside next to it. Like, you would not leave that window down. No, ever.
I mean, I would in Galveston in the summertime just because it's so goddamn hot and it's a black car. Yeah. That's the only thing that's...
Well, and you would just leave it cracked. Exactly. You wouldn't leave it all the way down. Like, it is straight up down.
I would leave it cracked and I would put the fucking shade screen thing up. Because I had to live that lifestyle for a while.
So we also have a lot of screen time early on that's given to Terry Baines. Enough where it's instantly suspicious.
Yeah, they really are drawing our eye towards suspicious characters, aren't they? Yeah. Yeah. Terry Baines, huh?
Like, the first pass, you're like, oh no, she wouldn't be in this much if she was just a roommate. No. The same with the phone guy.
The phone guy is ridiculous.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's ludicrous.
Munch is like a funny, like, hey!
I just learned how to use my phone that you've apparently had for years.
Yeah. So they walk in and just immediately... It's like, oh yeah, she was a mule. With her passport, that makes tons of sense. Liv has a lovely line, contraband disguised as double D's, which is probably the first time that this episode jumps the shark. Because if you think about the logistics of smuggling heroin in your breast implants, you have to get the heroin into the breast implants, and then you have to get the heroin out of the breast implants.
I have seen this device used in other things.
But still, I imagine you're not getting the most reputable plastic surgeons to do this work for you. And so you're looking at a fairly, I would assume, high risk of rupture, right? Which would be bad.
I bet the cartel's paying for pretty good plastic surgeons because they're not going to want to lose that product.
Well, it's not enough product to really make them give a shit. It's a tiny amount that you can fit into that. These guys are smuggling...
Well, you keep working your way up, right?
Man, I got to remember...
Like, this was her first time, probably. Like, eventually she's going to look like Dolly Parton going through customs. Okay, so enter Dean Porter.
You'd think he would just call her, right?
Yeah. The second time I watched this, I was like, wait, the landlord's raking the front yard? This is the most present landlord in the history of time. And I had a very present landlord at my last place in Austin.
I assume that guy was the super.
No. I think he's the landlord because Dean Porter says the landlord let me.
That's right. He did. Interesting. Well, maybe it's one of those, I don't remember where her apartment was supposed to be or if they told us, but maybe he lives above her or something. It's like the old lady from How To with John Wilson.
Oh, right. Yeah.
I could see that because there was a yard. You know, there's not too many yards at most apartment buildings. It's not my neighborhood. Oh, the Mexican passport. Sorry, real quick. Okay. Our department did not do their research on this one. So homegirl has a Mexican passport that says her place of birth as, and I quote, Mexico City. Last I checked, Spanish is the official language of Mexico.
Yeah, it would be DF.
Well, it's called Ciudad de Mexico. Yeah, I mean,
well, wouldn't it be listed there, Distrito Federal?
It would probably be like Ciudad de Mexico DF. And so that's usually how they write it, but. It would be one of those. It would not be Mexico City.
It wouldn't be Mexico City. So Porter says he doesn't know Ramona, only to have a smash cut to the station where he shows us a video of Martinez hitting on Ramona. Also, why would this video exist? Ever?
It's a little weird.
Why would it exist? Why would they have it? Nothing about this video makes any sense.
No.
She calls him mocoso, which is like a punk or a little boy.
Do you think Carlos Martinez is into porn?
I mean, if Carlos Martinez, the pitcher, is into porn, then this one is too. But not as much as like Hideki Matsui, who's got a historic porno collection. Did you not know this?
I did not know this.
He has like 55,000 tapes.
Wow, that's
He used to give tapes to reporters as like gifts.
Yeah, that's a minor storyline in Clark. Clark Olafsson goes to hang out with one of his buds who has the biggest porn collection in Sweden.
So we're still clearly dealing with the will they, won't they, Porter Benson Bone Zone shit.
But okay, also here's my other problem with the H in the implants, Josh. They had a fucking literal truckload of heroin inside teddy bears in the trunk.
Well, they're not questioning it, but like it turns out that the whole reason the implant has the
exactly. But like the team is not going, something weird's going on with these implants because we know where the fucking heroin was. It was in all those precious little bears.
Yeah, but it could be one of those things where they're initially believing that Carlos is the main guy, which they are thinking. Yeah. They're thinking Carlos is the main guy. Which Ramon is just probably a mule that he fell for. That's at least believable. You know, like it's a believable leap to make. There are lots of other things that are not.
Yeah, so back to the will they, won't they bone zone with Porter and Benson.
Yeah, because we've seen this. Yeah. We've already seen this the other time. Yeah. Like, it's clear that...
Could we call this Benter? Porson?
I think it's Porson.
I'm not going to lie. They have undeniable chemistry.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Like, it's kind of a bummer that they don't fuck. So then the safe deposit box leads them to the flight arriving that day in just a few hours.
A little handy here, right? They have the name of the bank on a little card with the safety deposit key that's hidden behind the baseboard. So that's handy. Next, the safety deposit box happens to have a ticket, which you don't need to like hide your ticket anymore.
Nope.
You hadn't in 2006 when this episode dropped. You didn't need to do that for a long time because after September 11th happened, you never needed to have a ticket again because they have all your information at the fucking airport and you have to show ID to get one.
Then the arriving flight at JFK
is coming in just a few hours.
Is handwritten on the ticket to leave from JFK, which is
also bizarre,
equally ludicrous. And of course, that flight is arriving mere minutes from when they find
it. And confusing to use the acronym for a major United States airport as the name for an airline, a fictional airline.
I absolutely thought it was going to be a flight from Miami.
That would make sense.
God.
It would make sense for like a connected drug affiliated dude to be flying in from Miami too. Mexican International Airlines. For bullshit.
Yeah.
That's lazy. Why does Porter need to tap their phones? I'm just going back to this. They're calling him with all the information that they have.
Yeah. Also, since when does cargo like those teddy bears come across in boxes through baggage claim? You know what doesn't happen at baggage claim? Boxes come down the claim.
I've seen boxes before, but it's like...
Oh, fuck that. Like a whole shipment of boxes like that?
Not a shipment. There's like some like, how do I put this delicately? Some not very sophisticated people who bring their shit to the airport in boxes.
Sure.
I've seen this before.
Like every day there are probably 6 boxes at LAX that come across baggage claim.
I think that's also a lot less common since 9/11.
Total.
But yeah, there's also things such as DHL, FedEx, UPS.
Yep.
The United States
where that
Postal
doesn't go
Service.
Through? This goes through fucking... Oh, God damn it. Oh, it's nonsense. It's utter nonsense. This is not how this happens. All right. So Stabler makes Manuel Rojas... But how does Rojas make Liv right away?
Well, I think he made Stabler like immediately.
Yeah, I know, but Liv is just standing there, not really obviously like watching him.
But she wasn't that smooth, and we can see him kind of looking around from his eyes. Like, I feel like he was a smooth operator, right?
But she's very much like looking at shit on her phone the whole time.
It was a little ridiculous that he made her so quickly. But I mean, Josh, this guy is a cell phone gun, so he...
Yeah, he has a cell phone gun.
and he knows how to use it. Funny enough, I was able to find a cell phone gun.
Yeah, it's one of those things that initially seemed like bullshit, but they got enough of the cartel shit right that I was like, it's probably a thing and I'm not going to bother.
It was the only one I found was from 2016, though, and it's for open carry dickheads to feel like they're making other people not feel bad, I think.
Yeah, but if it's something that an open carry dickhead can get now, then it's something that they could get then.
Yeah, but it didn't look as much like a cell phone as that one did. It looks like a piece of shit. I'm going to stick with the cell phone gun for a little bit here.
Okay, sure.
So first off, it clearly doesn't have a very long barrel, right? It's also got 4 rounds in it. Mm-hmm. When he's taken Liv out at gunpoint, and he's already taken her semi-automatic Glock or whatever, but...
Probably a Glock.
Yeah, it looks like a 9mm big gun. Mm-hmm. Big gun, much bigger barrel than the antenna of a BlackBerry.
Sure.
So... that he chooses to use the cell phone gun to shoot the uni rather than the 9mm that he's holding in his other hand is a little ridiculous to me. But it's not as ridiculous as what the cop says to Elliot after Elliot runs out. He says, he shot me in the vest with his cell. He's got a woman. So is it normal for this guy to be shot by cell phone guns?
Oh, yeah. That's why he wears the vest. He's been shot like probably at least once a week with a cell phone gun. But it's a .22 and it's just in the vest. Like, it probably doesn't even crack a rim.
Exactly.
Right. I know we never get to see the longer shot to determine how close Porter is to Rojas and Benson.
Fucking ludicrous.
But do we really think that he had a clear shot with a government issue Glock 19?
There's no...
Like, the effective range of a Glock 19 is 40 to 50 yards. Do we think that he had such a clear shot that he was able to take that without having to...
Nobody's taking the shot. We've talked about long shots with pistols before on this podcast.
Again, I guess it's theoretically possible that he could have been within 40 or 50 yards of them.
He might have been, but still.
But how is the van not picked up by anybody?
It was windy, and Liv's head in relation to Rojas's head, they were very close to each other. Like, if you were...
But if Porter is at an angle that's more like spun out like this from where like Elliot and the rest of the vantage point that we have is, it's possible they need to have the side shot better.
I don't know, man. But I wouldn't trust a handgun at any kind of range to hit anything. Like, that's...
And Elliot even says, like, good shot or something like that.
Yeah, that's why rifles exist, right? So you can actually aim at something.
We also get a little tender semi-embrace with Elliot coming to Liv as she's on the ground with Rojas's blood on him. So that's a little...
How many times, Josh? What is this, like 5 times that we've been doing this podcast out of 113 episodes that Liv's been taken hostage?
It's more than 5. It has to be more
It's way more than 5.
It's happened twice with William Lewis. It happened in Undercover.
And that's 4
episodes. It happened in the Milo Ventimiglia.
Yeah.
So this is at least 5.
Yeah, and 2 of those were 2-parters.
I swear it's happened other times, too. Didn't Sheila, for a moment, have Benson's gun drawn on her?
Yeah, she did. So we can count that.
I know there have to be others. These are not the only ones, but we've got at least 6 that Benson has had a gun drawn on her and been in a hostage situation where I believe she was disarmed in all of them.
Yeah, with the prison rape
Undercover, I guess she wasn't disarmed because she never had a gun. But
did she have a gun on her in Undercover Mother at any point? I'm trying to remember. Just all those mothers.
I don't think so. No, she drew the gun on Donald Logue.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Anyways, we get our next shark jump, and that's Terry Baines did it. You know who else has dark hair? Terry Baines.
Yeah. So Porter tries to scare him off, and then Stabler says, Porter's not going to tell us Dick. The real question here is, but will he give him Dick?
Well, they're going to use that to their advantage.
Yeah, so then they go after Terry, and this episode is filled with just dumb fucking luck bullshit, but them seeing Terry walking down the street is absolutely dumb luck, because they get her right before she gets in a cab and fucks off 40 blocks, west from where she is?
Yeah, north and west. So she goes 40 blocks up. So what would that be? So she's at 67. So she would have gone up to like 106th Street roughly on the west side. Haven't been to a grocery store over there, guys. But yeah. So again, it's just total ridiculous that they're just driving along and she's like, no, stop. There she is.
New York is a large city.
There's a lot of people that live here. There's a lot of people that live here.
And a lot of people walking around.
A lot of people come here every day. It is very weird to see people that you know outside of like a 1-block radius. It happens, but typically not just randomly like, oh yeah, there's the CIA analyst, which is a whole nother thing that we're tailing, just wandering down the street.
Oh yeah, trust me, a lot of my notes from here on out are about that. Okay, so per IMDb, this is the first episode where Liv uses her fluent Spanish. Yeah. Hargitay, again, speaks 4 languages. Yeah. Porter sees them haul off the Cuban diplomat from the store, and then...
Let's talk about the Liv's tradecraft here, because she just like saunters up to Terry, and Terry totally is just gone.
Well, she at least hid while they were doing the drop.
Yeah. She hid while they were doing the drop, but then
Yeah.
she's like, hey, Terry, what's up? It's like,
Hey, buddy.
maybe you should have come from like behind the cart. I don't know.
Yeah.
Terry throws the card at her and she's off. Liv's accent is not like a native speaker, but she definitely like holds her own. She does a great job.
Yeah. She totally speaks the Spanish.
Good for Hargitay. Yeah.
Yeah. So Porter waltzes in and seizes the SIM cards.
So what's Elliot doing, though, while Liv's speaking Spanish to the guy? He's standing there.
He doesn't speak of the Spanish.
I know he doesn't, but he's standing there behind the two-way mirror watching them. And he's making a comment about what they're talking about. And he doesn't have there's no closed captioning. Like, how does he know what they're talking about?
He's not using, probably then it would have been the Babelfish from Alta Vista.
Exactly. Maybe those Green Tech 8800s can do that for you. Who knows?
Yeah, I bet. There's some pretty decent phones. So Terry is a CIA analyst, apparently.
Yeah.
Then Munch misreads the Cuban conspiracy angle, thinking that she's a Cuban spy, but she's on the company payroll. She is on the CIA's payroll. Why would she be a Cuban spy?
Well, I mean, maybe she's
how does he make that leap?
A double agent or something?
Dude, it's complete nonsense.
It's complete nonsense. And Munch...
I mean, I don't understand how a rational person would ever think that she was a Cuban spy.
Yeah, if she's on the company payroll, especially Munch, the conspiracy theorist, would be like, the CIA's has its hand in everything. That makes sense.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Now I finally understand what's going on. Not like the Cuban intelligence is murking people in New York City.
It's just such nonsense.
So Morales cracks this code. This woman is a CIA analyst.
Yeah, from the colon and the period.
But he cracks it in, we don't know exactly how long it takes him, but it took him about 5 minutes to crack this code. And the whole point of like a modern cipher is that anything can be cracked, and you make them complicated enough that it takes enough computing power, enough time that you can use it for a while before you ditch it for the next one. And so you're constantly recycling them, but the point is for them to take a while to break because there's a lot of numbers, right? And you'd have like a ton of digits and it becomes really hard to crack. You don't want like the NYPD, fucking guy to be able to, Teru guy to crack it in 5 minutes. Yeah. It's not really useful because you'd assume like a foreign counterintelligence agency would be able to do it in even less time. Sure. And then it wouldn't matter who the Cuban resistance guys you smuggled it to, they'd all be dead anyways.
Okay, so Porter comes in, takes the SIM card and all the evidence.
Yeah, Porter did it.
Then they upload spyware via Bluetooth to his phone. Like, is that a thing that can be done?
I've never tried to. I didn't also know that when my phone connects to Bluetooth speaker, the annoying thing about it is that it doesn't tell me that that's happening, right? It just all of a sudden my phone that I was listening to on my headphones is now playing through the Bluetooth. But
you've connected to it before.
That's true.
Like the protocol's in place because you've already connected to that speaker when you turned it on.
Yeah, I've never actually been able to hack into somebody else's phone via Bluetooth.
No, exactly. Yeah. I don't think that you can hack into someone else's phone via Bluetooth if they haven't connected to you in the first place.
Maybe they could like airdrop something to somebody, but even then it asks you if you can accept it.
He did not have an iPhone.
No, he did not. None of these people had iPhones.
Yeah, none of the, Samsung has the same fucking shit now, but this is a smartphone that you can do that with. So it just seems like complete bullshit. I really don't think that's a thing. And the reason I don't think it's a thing is because within 2 seconds of that happening, Benson says, "What? Are you going to Twitter this or something?"
Does,
That's not a thing anyone ever said. I realized that I joined Twitter right when this happened, and you would not have said I was going to Twitter something.
Yeah. But still, Twitter was very new at this point.
It was like 2 years old. It started in 2007, I believe.
Yeah, but backing up, but still, like it started in 2007 at South by Southwest.
Is that where Jack Dorsey sent the first tweet from?
I believe so. But the CIA, just backing up slightly, the CIA does offer multiple different analyst salary levels, anywhere from the mid-20s to the 600s. So 61K is not necessarily the dead giveaway that I guess Craig implies that it is. But whatever, for the story it works. But I want to stop you because you're missing the forest for the trees in this Liv and Porter at her house scene.
No. Trust me, I'm not. What's the sex music that Benson put on?
The sex music what's her candle budget? Like...
Oh yeah. It's like Barry Lyndon, I think, is her candle budget.
She has like 10 large sensuous candles throughout the apartment, like big ones.
Yeah.
With each with their own, what do you call those? Oh, those tripods. What do you call those? Like large candle stands? You know, like the.
It's I feel like it ends with an if. Fuck.
You know what I'm talking about, but we're talking like this. She's a New York City apartment,
like a stand, a pedestal, sort of that these candles are all sitting.
She's
on.
investing limited, serious real estate into DTF candles, is what she's.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like that, her candle game is on fire. So she's got this crazy sex music. She's got the candles lit. Mm-hmm. Now the sex music is like the music that the dentist would play when he puts you under and you wake back up and your shirt's unbuttoned or shirt's buttoned differently, you know, like
it's like a lesser known John Cicada track, right?
Yes. Then you can really tell that Dean Porter wanted to take Liv's basal temperature with his meat thermometer in this scene, because
well, I mean, she's got that like swoop necked dress going on. She's looking fantastic.
Oh yeah, and in that candlelight.
Like, I mean, like great romantic lighting in that apartment.
Yeah. This is like cabinet dinner lighting.
Liv is not using your mom's fluorescent like light bulbs in her shit. Fuck.
Is that Cabot one right before this too?
Was that this season? No, it was Cabot.
It's 10 or 11.
The Congo one?
Yeah, I'm checking.
Nice.
11, 16. Oh. So it's 10 episodes after this. So they're really, season 11 is really letting Liv like.
They're lighting Liv up.
Set the mood with candles.
That's what they're doing. They're lighting Liv up this time.
Oh yeah. All right. So
it's weird to me that they felt the need to get a mule to smuggle this contraband in her breast implants from New York to Miami, because that's where the fucking Cuban resistance is.
No. She's supposed to go to Cuba.
I understand
that's why her
that,
flight's
Josh.
to Mexico City.
I understand that, Josh. But there's no fucking armed resistance fighters inside Cuba.
Sure.
You know why? Because they haven't let us train their fucking military at the School of the Americas at Fort Bragg. That's fucking why.
Yeah. Okay, now, why would this CIA analyst be working with the fucking FBI?
So, well, a couple things, right? We keep saying...
I mean, I have a lot of CIA analyst notes here, but
we keep saying
that's the biggest one.
For one... CIA analysts would be working with other CIA agents.
They're desk jockeys.
So CIA agents would be working with other CIA agents or with other assets, probably from the U.S. military or the State Department. Yep. They are, by law, not allowed to operate.
Not allowed to work inside the U.S.
That doesn't mean that they don't do it all the time.
Sure.
But they're not allowed to. Which means that the FBI, which is a law enforcement agency, would not be able to be part of their inside the U.S. schemes.
Nope.
Because they would be bound to arrest them for that, for breaking the law. Now, that being said...
But again, that would be a CIA agent. A CIA analyst wouldn't be doing any of this bullshit.
A CIA analyst is somebody who sits at a desk.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're desk jockeys. And fundamentally,
files reports.
Yep.
It's an office job. It's an office job where you can feel like you're doing cool shit. You can't talk about it with your friends. You can feel like you're doing cool shit. I read on one of those dumb work sites. I was reading a bunch of reviews that I would have kept, but it was one of those ones that makes you sign up for it after you've looked at too many reviews, which was annoying. So fuck that.
Yeah.
I tried to put my job as dad and my employer as mom, and it didn't accept that. It said, we don't recognize mom as an employer. It's like, fuck off.
So people who work on the show Mom are also fucked. Yeah. The cartel angle obviously ends up being a total red herring. It's just dumb fucking luck that the cartel's even involved in this. Then the old guy was a Cuban attaché, which... You're not going to get this, and I don't really care, but I know many of our listeners will. I wonder if he had an attaché badge that he could have flashed at them to get out of this.
Hi, I was hoping you could help me.
What can I do for you?
I'm an attaché. By the way, here's my attaché badge. Yeah, someone just really fucked up. Someone just bumped into me and took off with my briefcase with all my attaché shit in it. Like about a block east. I really need that stuff as an attaché.
On Boulevard Street?
Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly, 2 minutes ago. Go fuck him up. Go get him. Thank you.
That's a Patriot joke. Chernus's character gets an attaché badge made up. When he's an attaché, he talks about his case with attaché shit in it all the time, his briefcase with attaché shit, and then he flashes his attaché badge that he has made specially.
Nice. Does it work?
Everyone sort of looks at him like he's a
jackass,
doofus. Okay, so we have a CIA analyst who's trying to run a chip in a breast implant to Cuba to get to the Cuban resistance. Nonsense.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm fundamentally misunderstanding what a CIA analyst does, but it really seems like they shouldn't be running this up.
Well, also, it seems like maybe you should vet your high school buddy before you do this. Go like,
your cousin.
Yeah, like, okay, yeah, I love you. You're one of my best friends, but what have you been up to for the last 5 years? Maybe I'll call my friends at the agency who are able to find out these things pretty easily.
Or herself. She could find it out very easily.
Yeah. And go like, oh, man, wow. Maybe that travel going to Colombia and Mexico all the time is a little fishy.
Yeah.
Maybe I don't want her being the trusted courier of this important information of like 5 people's names, which could be sent by a myriad different ways.
Yeah. Okay, so it makes no sense that she'd be working with Porter at all, but
whatever.
Why wouldn't Porter just help her dispose of the fucking bodies entirely?
Yeah.
What is the point in leaving the bodies staged in the back of the truck? Wouldn't it be easier to just like take them to a cleaner or something?
You have the fucking CIA. Get rid of it.
Yeah.
Put them in a helicopter and drop them off like, international waters or some shit.
It's utter nonsense.
Like, you're working on an op like for the agency, right?
Uh-huh.
You're on company time. I would assume that like you could file an expense report being like, hey, I need to borrow the chopper or I need to borrow a yacht for a few hours.
Yeah, I need to get a boat and a wood chipper.
Yeah, right. Like, I need a box of sulfuric acid and like, some kind of like do some Breaking Bad shit,
No, it really a boat and a wood chipper, and you're just chumming the water for some sharks. Like that would do it, right?
That would do a pretty good job. That would be it.
And then just dump the wood chipper in the fucking ocean.
Yeah.
Whatever. And then they think they're actually going to arrest a fucking Fed as an accessory to murder on this. What world do Liv and Stabler live in? Like, it's just nonsense.
I mean, I think the biggest problem, like, she might not be able to lock up Porter, but he's definitely locked out of her heart at this point, I think, Josh. And I think that's... I think that's a problem.
More importantly, locked out of her pants. Okay, so I think we're ready to
rank this. So, of course, guys, we rank these episodes every week. We rank them on 4 criteria. That's the quality, the guess, how problematic the episode was, and the depth and breadth of lives ruined. We're trying to come up with a composite score that will allow us to rank it against all the other episodes of this sometimes wonderful and sometimes a little ridiculous show. I personally think this falls into the ridiculous category, but I want to see what Josh thinks about the first category, that's quality overall.
So it's utter nonsense.
Yes. Like
nothing actually makes sense once you get past like any mark.
If you're attempting to pay attention, none of it makes sense.
No. Like if you're just letting this fucking cracked out fever dream of an episode wash over you and you don't care that the plot doesn't actually track.
Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah, it is fun. So like it's not one of those messes that isn't fun.
It's not a Sunder.
No, I think
it's not low down.
I think it's probably a 4, right?
4 makes sense to me. It is not professional.
No, not even remotely.
It does not make sense. It was not very well thought out.
It has no grasp on what's going on in Cuba whatsoever.
It sort of does in Mexico, but they drop that.
But none of it matters. Yeah. It's all irrelevant.
Yeah. It's pretty wild shit. But it is fun enough to bring it up. So I agree with you. I think 4 is a good number. Now, with the guests, I don't know. Spano's like has a fun relationship with Liv, so that's something, and I think that works. Like Paula Mendoza is... I'm trying to think whether I buy her or not.
She's fine, but I think the issues with the character are mostly that, like, the character is not written like a CIA analyst. And so you're just sitting there like, The credulity that's being strained isn't in the performance, it's in what's on the page.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's jumped the shark like 5 times throughout this episode, even before we get to the point where, oh yeah, Terry Baines is a fucking CIA
the instant
analyst.
Phone guy shows up and you're like, oh, Phone guy did it. Or Phone guy's
what
phone
the
guy's
fuck
involved.
is going on with Phone guy? You know? I mean, really, honestly, the instant the fucking NYC Wet Bandits show up, you're like, what's up with this episode? Like,
yeah, something is amiss.
But
they're not bad. And like Spano's turn is like actually memorable.
Yeah. And he does have like undeniable chemistry with Liv. So I think
that's sort of like where the episode lands, like where it sticks the landing is there. And that's sort of the dynamic that matters the most.
Yeah, it seems like you could have gone like, hey, we got Spano on the docket. Let's write an episode that makes sense to have him in it.
Yeah, it'd be nice. I mean, we're somewhere in the 4 to 6 range on this, right?
So I think we should just give it a 5, right?
Okay,
because
that's fine.
I don't know that anybody's bad. There's no stunt casting.
Yeah.
No, I don't know. I'm just thinking maybe it's a 6 just because Spano is good. And I think he does kind of the most.
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
Okay, let's do that. We'll give it a 6.
Aside from the Wet Bandits, who I think are legit terrible, I don't think that anything else in the episode is like, what's fucking going on here? What is this person doing?
Yeah.
And I think Spano does have a lot to do.
He does.
And also gets to like, at least make out with Liv.
Yeah.
And like, I feel like they kind of blue ball each other.
I mean, kind of, but Liv is...
You can tell at the end, she's like, why couldn't you just trust me so we could get our fuck on?
That's true. Yeah, exactly. Why'd you have to bug our fucking
this is like
offices?
5 episodes of fucking heat between them.
Yeah.
Loin heat.
So, Josh, was this episode problematic? It definitely strains a shitload of credulity.
Yeah.
That's maybe the most problematic thing that it does.
They've got a CIA analyst running an op domestically is very problematic.
The writers of the show don't know how fucking plane tickets work in 20 like
There's that
5
too.
years after 9/11.
Oh, God. No, it's like 7 years after 9/11.
Yeah. On top of that, we also have Warner did get to have some juicy lines at the beginning, and we do have those 2 actors in like a pile of corpses, and then
a lot of blood.
Yeah,
there's a lot of blood.
Yeah, so it's not negligible problematic.
No, I'm trying to think if there's anything else. That's kind of it, though, isn't it?
Yeah. I'm really trying to think.
We obviously Liv doesn't get to fuck.
Liv doesn't get to fuck. That's a bummer. And she invested so much money in those candles.
I know. She spent a lot of money on candles. That's a problem.
Also,
what about I hope she can get reimbursed. I hope she can expense those candles.
Isn't it problematic that the NYPD just requisitioning all these people's mostly above board gotten gains? You know, like not entirely ill-gotten gains.
Yeah. The car
and whatever piece of stereo equipment that was.
And they're taking from people of color.
Absolutely. They 100% are. A child. They're taking candy from a child, but in this case, candy is a stereo equipment that they'll get like $2 from.
So it's just more racism from NYPD.
Yeah.
What? Are we talking like a 5 or a 6 here? 5?
I think it's a 5 for the blood.
And for us never getting to have Liv and Dean Porter fuck.
Yeah, I mean, and besides Cabot, is Dean Porter like the only legit attractive Liv love interest? And Elliot, obviously, I guess. But, but yeah.
I mean, have you seen his guns?
I haven't seen his guns because I can't stop looking at his
Bill
buns.
Pullman count?
Good question. Yeah, but Bill Pullman. What a bullshit episode to have Bill Pullman in for like 15 minutes. Anyways, moving on. Depth and breadth of lives ruined. So the Cuban resistance is not going to get this SIM card that will allow them to get the name. What are they doing with his names anyways?
If you want to feel no sympathy for this whole Cuban storyline, please listen to season 2 of Blowback.
Yeah.
The whole Cuban situation is entirely like of our making.
Yes. 100%.
Yeah.
As so happens, when you try to assassinate a guy many times, he turns against you.
Like 60 times, right?
Something like that. I don't remember, but many times.
Well, and I mean, the only reason they ever cozied up to the Soviets is because we fucking embargoed them.
Yeah.
We gave them no choice. Where the fuck else were they going to sell their sugar? Whatever.
Yeah.
Not going to digress further.
Yeah. Okay. So besides these Cuban resistance fighters U.S. contacts, which, again, this doesn't seem like a very good way to get them this information, but whatever. Why do they need this information? Again, whatever. Besides them, we have...
No, they're still getting it, though, because the Cuban attaché can give it to them, right?
I guess they did give it back
to... Because Dean Porter still has the chip.
Dean Porter has the chip.
So whatever. Yeah. Nothing there.
Yeah, so nothing... You're right.
Nothing there. We've got 2 cartel people dead.
Yeah, who cares?
Sure, it sucks that people died, but they're not people we need to worry about.
Yeah, this guy is Zetas hitman. He's
And then we see another cartel head honcho, like a big guy in the cartel, get shot.
Yeah.
Again, kind of who cares?
He already shot a cop, even though he was with a ludicrously small and ridiculous gun. But still, who cares?
So it's really just 3 bodies that we don't care about getting dropped, and
Liv's libido.
Liv and Porter not fucking.
So what is this, a 2? 3?
Yeah.
2? Yeah. Agreed. So that, guys, gives us a 4.25, which ties it with a number of other episodes, all, as you would expect, not great.
Yeah.
Actually, a lot. We have the Jane Kosmeric episode, Thin Line Between Order and Suburban Police, the Sarah Hyland Aya Cash episode, When You Can Say Wang, You're Gonna Say Wang, right? The Robert Vaughn episode, seems like a weird side hustle for washed up catchers with bad knees. The Karina load, was that the second one or the first one? Heartfelt Passages.
That was the one where he dies.
Oh, that's the second one. So that was Karina Logue, Brad Garrett sewed. Well, apparently she has an STI, so something did rub off. And did you see Amaro in that towel? That's Reasonable Doubt. Season 15, episode 22, which we bring that one up a lot, it seems, recently.
Yep.
But, yeah, that's about what you would expect. It's fun to watch, so I would recommend it, but it's not by any means well done.
No, not even remotely. So heading to the next episode, heading over to episode.lol, which was built for the podcast by friend of the pod, Flet. The tape is spinning.
Oh, I hate that part.
And it has spit out Season 14, Episode 10, Presumed Guilty.
Sure has.
Holiday celebrations are interrupted when Detective Tutuola's ex-brother-in-law is arrested for attacking a priest. During the investigation, a church scandal is uncovered. This one is directed by Courtney Hunt. It has Eric LeRae Harvey, Lisa Gay Hamilton, Nathan Lee Graham is a character's name who I seem to remember. Peter Garrity's in it. Oh, Theo Rossi's in it as well. So, no idea what this episode is. I have no recollection of it.
I'm going to assume it's the plot from Presumed Innocence, just flipped on its head.
Or Sleepers.
Yeah.
Maybe it's from Sleepers.
Yeah.
Okay, so... As always,
first off, you should subscribe to the Patreon, especially if you like Josh and I going off on bizarre topics, like the number of things prompted by this episode.
Yes.
I assume Josh will do some cutting.
We'll also, on the Thursday after this episode drops for the general public, we will have our 4th Munchy by Benson Movie Club entry, which will have dropped. That will be on Alphabet City, the Vincent Spano star vehicle. So
I'm
Dean Porter. We've not recorded that yet.
No.
And I don't believe either of us have seen the movie.
Yeah.
So that should be fun as well.
Yeah. I was in an episode of These Are Their Stories, which is another SVU podcast. They were really great.
That's a full Law and Order universe. So they do the original series, CI and SVU.
Yeah, they do all 3 of them. But they're great.
It's always a rip from the headline story.
And this is the first episode we recorded since I was on it. So there's going to be like a month worth of episodes. But if you go back, it was on one talking about
Season 5, Episode 6?
Exactly. So that's a really fun episode of the show. When Josh and I get around to it, I imagine it will score very highly.
Nice.
Because it's a really fun episode of the show.
Cool.
But so that was a lot of fun. Hopefully my technical difficulties did not give them too many troubles in the edit.
We were also very recently on Fuck My Work Life again, so check that out. That's linked in the notes. So will These Are Their Stories be. We are on a chicklet at the movies fairly recently, like a couple months ago, about Thin Man. We are on social media, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram as Munchy by Benson. We have a subreddit, r/Munchy by Benson. We have an email, munchybybenson@gmail.com, and our website is munchybybenson.com. spooked.com, where you will be able to find links to both the store, which now has merch in it.
Yeah, and more merch will be coming online as I have time to work on it.
I put some more up this week.
Nice.
Yeah, so I think that's it.
Yeah, I think that's it. Oh, and just we don't have time to read out everybody's names, but all the patrons on our Patreon, yes. You guys know who you are. You guys are amazing, and we love you.
Best.
Yeah, and
our regular listeners are fine too.
Yeah,
but our munchies are the best.
Yeah, we
are really literally running out of time.
Yeah.
So again, our patron or our Patreon page is just patreon.com/munchybybenson.
That's right.
All of these are linked in the show notes.
Mm-hmm. I think that's it, Josh.
Yeah, as always, munch the fuck out of our Bensons.
Yeah.
But make sure you get consent first.
Yeah, and make sure that you're not, getting one of your cousins to try to smuggle your Benson into, a ludicrous place to resistance fighters, because it's just not going to work out. It's not going to work out for anybody. Yeah. All right?
No, it never works in an implant.
All right. Later.
Munch, the truck, did you trace it?
The fax just came in. It's owned by a rental company in the Bronx.
Truck went out last week, was supposed to be returned last night.
Carlos Martinez, address Laredo, Texas, date of birth March 91. So John Dell.
Your insurance company lets you rent to 18-year-olds?
Screw the insurance company. The kid left collateral. Take a look.
My first car was a rusted-out Dodge Dart. You're sure he's the owner?
Registration matches his license. Check it out. That baby's gonna look great in my driveway.
This baby's being impounded. It's evidence in a murder investigation.
Hey, detective, it was a fair trade. How am I gonna rent my truck when it looks like the inside of Dracula's refrigerator?
Hose it out?